It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 dig, 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 go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Hampshire, Jeff Gordon, currently the 10th seed as we start the chase. He drives the number 24 DuPont Chevrolet. He's got 3 wins here at New Hampshire, 12 top 5s, 15 top 10s. He's set on 3 poles. Jeff, your initial thoughts about starting the chase on Sunday?
Well, this is a great track for us. We were overshadowed last year by Clint Boyer's win, but we finished second. So it was a great way to start the chase, and we feel like here and Dover are great tracks for us. Even though we haven't had a spectacular year, we're in the chase. It's a fresh start, and everybody right now I think believes they can win it. And when I look at the first 2 or 3 tracks, they're all tracks we can put some great finishes together, if not some wins.
Okay, we'll take questions now for Jeff. We've got one here on the front row.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Jeff, Steve Letarte was out in the garage a while ago talking about y'all got some tests coming up before Kansas, and that you got a couple of pretty good tracks here where you can hang in and then go. Everybody's talking about Jimmy peaking right now. Are you guys maybe flying under the radar a little bit to hit something on your own about mid-chase here?
We've been under the radar all year. I don't think we're certainly not looking at it that way. We're just looking at the tracks that we feel like are good tracks for us, tracks that we ran well at not only last year but this year, more importantly. And this was a good track for us. Dover was a good track for us. And then, like you said, we've got a couple tests coming up at mile-and-a-half tracks to hopefully get us where we need to be for Kansas, Kansas is a good track for us as well. So if we can, find a little bit on the mile-and-a-halves. I think Texas is the only track that I'm majorly concerned about. We were way off there earlier in the year. So if we can find something that helps us at Kansas, and then we get to Texas with a little bit of momentum and some solid finishes, then maybe we can get through that weekend and find something, and we can be as much of a threat as anybody. Right now, we got to make up some of those bonus points. We don't feel like that means we have to go out and lead every lap and win this week, and we'd like to do that. But that can happen over time. It doesn't have to happen all at one race.
Bob
Margolis, Yahoo Sports. Jeff, going into the playoffs, and we are in the playoffs now. This is the time of the year when the champions and the vets and the stars all rise to the top. Even though your performance this year hasn't been where you guys would want it, do you feel you go into these last 10 races with that added advantage of the maturity of knowing that, hey, I've been here before, that this is not like an unusual situation for me to be in this pressure?
Well, I guess what you're saying is true, yes, but it's because we don't think about that. We don't even think about it. We're going. We're not thinking about pressures. We're not thinking about, we're behind. We haven't had a great year. We're just going to the next 10 races to put the best finishes that we can put together. And I think maybe that's because of our experience that we're not thinking, we got to worry about this, we got to worry about that. We're just going to the next race, and that's either just the way our team works or our past experience of being in these in the chase and battling for championships. And times we've had to fight harder than others and come from behind, and other times we've been leading the pack. So all we know is we're in it, and if you're in it, you've got a shot at it, no matter what your season's been up to this point.
Well, Jim, and then Lee.
Jeff, along those same lines, when you go into the chase with a 70-points deficit, can you spin that and say it's only 7 points per race, not that big a deal, or is it a true deficit? Is it a true hole to dig out of?
Well, I think if Kyle continues on the way he has this year, then it's a deficit that we might not ever be able to overcome. We know that usually in 10 races, just about everybody runs into a little bit of trouble. So, for us, I think that we've got to be realistic in what we're capable of doing. We're capable of putting a string of very consistent races together. we might not be as capable of those guys of going out and dominating the laps led in the wins. Certainly not up to this point we haven't. But like I said, our approach is really right now, other than maybe looking at Martinsville and Talladega, the first two particularly are great tracks for us, are tracks that we can be in the top 5, and I think if you're in the top 5, you've got a shot at winning, and that's the way we're approaching it. Let's get through these first couple races and see how it goes. Let's work on our 1.5-mile program like we have all year long. Let's hope we finally hit on something, because obviously we haven't hit on anything yet. And we can also take some information from our teammates of where they've been good and their testing and how that's gone for them, and see if we can't apply that to our setups.
Go lead and Russ.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Junior Study's more relaxed than he's ever been. As much of that comes with the comfort of knowing the caliber of equipment that you have, the people you have surrounding yourself in the Hendrick organization, and to follow that up. Now, that being said, you have 3 guys on a weekly basis under the same roof. You guys help each other with information, but you're also going after that same piece of real estate. How has that evolved this season?
Trying to figure out where I should have wrote it down here, Lee. Well, I mean, first of all, once you've, especially if you've won 2 championships, the rest is all icing on the cake. So the pressure's off. I think you get that first championship, that takes a lot of pressure off. You become a back-to-back multiple champion, and now all of a sudden there's really no pressure. I mean, it's now we just go out and get the bonuses. So I think that probably has a lot to do with the comfort level for Jimmy too. That they're not. Oh, you said Jimmy, I thought. Oh. Well, I think for Junior, yeah. I mean, I think he's got a lot of pressure on him. Maybe he's just he's good at handling pressure, and he's calm and they've been consistent this year, and I don't know. He and I haven't really talked a whole lot about that. I think that it certainly doesn't hurt being at Hendrick and knowing what our resources are. As far as going up against one another, every weekend I feel like we go through the same scenario. We share information, we talk, the green flag drops, and we go and race. We only give and take with one another if it's not for like the win. When it's for the win, we don't give and take. It's bottom line. And so I don't see how that's going to change going through these next 10 races.
Russ.